This dude thrives on relics. So many good relics for the Ironclad, both relics that are available to all characters that are particularly good for the Ironclad, such as the Dead Branch, and class-specific relics to this guy that are amazing, such as the Charon's Ashes and the Red Skull. Whatever it is, Ironclad loves to have it when it comes to relics. It's like a pretty friendly Act 1 overall. Big agree, Merle. Clad is certainly a character where marginal advantages can be found everywhere. And I think especially because of the Burning Blood, there's a lot of value to careful play in your combats and careful decision-making in your pathing when it comes to choosing whether you visit an unknown room or choosing whether you visit a combat room. The Clad in particular really cares about which of those things you're doing, and can really reap the benefits if you can repeatedly take advantage of that gain. Which character do I think is the best designed, asks Uniquely K. Great question. That's a really great question. My initial instinct is to actually say the Watcher, because the devs made her with the most experience themselves in designing mechanics for this game, and also incorporated a lot of feedback both from the community and from skilled players when creating and modifying cards for her. That's actually partly how she ended up the way she is. Particularly exploitable by players on the high end of the spectrum, skill-wise. But I don't think that necessarily makes her the most fun character to play. It's interesting. But I do think she's exceptionally well done in that she has a lot of neat little branching and interacting stealth mechanics. So few of her cards are useless in a vacuum. And she has some nice direction with her starting deck. Anyway, back to the current Act 1 of the actual run that we're currently in. We're fighting an elite, apparently. That I hadn't parsed yet. So, looking at the starting bonuses we've got card remove, common relic, all gold for 14 max health, or the boss swap. Generally speaking, I never advocate for boss swap in this kind of situation, where you've got a floor 6 elite that you can't avoid. That's because trading your starting relic and getting something that doesn't immediately benefit you, aka to some extent an empty cage, but more commonly calling bells that aren't helpful, the Black Star, Busted Crown, Sozu, and a couple of others can all result in disaster when that first elite rolls around. You really need to be able to have all of the resources available as possible. You know, as much stuff as possible. A common relic can help with that. I think, genuinely, if you're ever going to take a max health start, this is definitely the sort of situation to consider doing so in. What I don't like is that my optimal path then hits a shop later on, and having 99 less gold for that shop is a huge deal. So I'm pretty tempted to take common relic as our starting option here of the three. Ironclad's Relic is not that important for floor 6. I would strongly disagree in that case. So on the way to the Elite, we're taking a minimum of our 3 easy pool fights. And then we may be taking 1 or more additional combats. So on the low end, the Burning Blood is 18 health by the time we get to this fight. And on the high end, it's 30 health by the time we get to this fight. That is a big deal and could absolutely make a huge difference in whether you get to the next floor or don't get to the next floor. It's never going to be 0 because you don't start at full health. I mean, sure, yes, you can perfectly avoid damage in every combat, but I'd love to see you do that on a 20. Please, stream it. Paladin Dragon Slayer, thank you so much for 6 months of support. The half year. Alright, let's take Common Relic here. I like it. Potion Belt is not what we're looking for, although it's definitely not useless here. Giving us more potion slots over the course of the run means we can hold on to more resource at one time. Lets us stockpile, which is a nice thing, but only if we can survive the short term. I would say that this Potion Belt makes me more inclined to go to this store, so that even if I get potions from our first 3 combats, we can simply buy more potions at the shop and use a mass of potions to brute force our way through the Elite fight. The other option is just take a whole bunch of combats and see what happens. No Good Names Remain, thank you so much for 15 months, 1.5 metric years. I agree with Inlimity's comment in chat 100%. Over time, Spire has really highlighted how each of its different characters are really a different skill. And so your ability to perform at a high level with the character is kind of proportional to how much time you spend playing that character. And so the best player, quote-unquote, for any given character has become different people as different players have specialized all of their time and play skill into one character in a way that kind of spearheads play and teaches others about that character. Oh, why are we using the first playthrough tag? Sorry, that was from Chrono Trigger on the weekend. Let me update the tags. Usually I do AMA, educational. That's right. Good catch. But yeah, at this point, the best streak for each character has, I believe, each come about as a result of players specializing in that one character, either overall with their play experience or just for a period of time, and just playing exclusively whatever character they're trying to win streak with. It's worked really well, and I really think it does highlight how each of the characters are kind of fundamentally different. There's definitely some crossover, like you can definitely play, 1,000 hours of Watcher and none of the other characters, or 1,000 hours of Defect and none of the other characters, or 1,000 hours of any character and none of the others, and then perform reasonably well just for having mastered all of the obstacle side, I guess you'd call it, of Spire. You've memorized all of the enemies and their intents, all of the bosses, all of the possibilities from nodes, so you have a baseline understanding of what you're going to go up against. I think I am going to go to this store. As much as I'd like to optimally go Elite Fire Elite here, I think with this Potion Belt start, I do want to stock up so that we can maybe confidently take on the Burning Elite, but then I'd be hitting 2 shops. Do I just 5 combats and YOLO it? This would be the path, I think, that is least likely to die to the Elite. This would be the path, I think, that is most strong coming out of the Act if it survives. I guess that makes it the greedy choice, so to speak. And this is the conservative pick. To weigh one against the other more precisely, I have no idea how to even begin to try to quantify that. I guess you could count cumulative potion probabilities. I could make some kind of like average. But heck, do we have 5 elites? That's the important question. We have 3 at best. And there's no avoiding a second shop if I want that extra elite. I guess I'm going to multiple shops if I go to this one. Could also potentially get here and then opt out of the first shop. Ooh, I actually really like that. I'm gonna go here. I don't have to go to the store if I don't want to. But I am missing out on the opportunity to do 3 elites by going this way. I understand this. So, with this hand... Alright, the question I should be asking here is, do I need to Bash Strike on this turn? Jawa might not even be attacking me next turn, but I'm only drawing 1 defend. Lodestar81 asks, how is single Jawworm an easy pool fight? Compare this. Single blue Slaver was originally an easy pool fight. Would you rather fight that guy? Because if not, I propose a swap. Now, that was a long, long time ago. So this attack gives 5 block, right? So we essentially have a 38 health Jawworm we need to kill next turn. We're going to do 27 damage with 3 strikes. Bash is only 8. So if I want to guarantee a kill next turn, I have to Bash Strike right now and take 7. If I block this turn, there is a 50% chance that I take 7 next turn, because the Jawworm attacks for 12. I think that means it's better to defend Bash this turn on average. His worst case scenario is to just take 7. I do take 7. Was correct to go, Bash Strike after all. But mathematically in favor of doing what I did, and that's okay. We do get our first potion, that's exciting. Fill up those potion slots. Do I Shrug or do I Infernal Blade? And that's right, yeah, that was one of the first things they changed, actually, was taking Blue Slaver out of the easy pool. He had no business being there. He's actually got a very comparable damage output to the Jawworm, alternating 8 and 13, but the problem is the Blue Slaver never takes a turn off from attacking. And that's what kept him out of the easy pool. So, possibility of Gremlin Nub says, well, I guess not Infernal Blade's not even that good compared to Shrug against Gremlin Nub. I'm pretty happy with the Shrug It Off here. It's not the greatest first card in the world, but it's pretty good. It gives us a lot of block for our next couple of encounters here, which might even allow us to regain some health with our Burning Blood from that Jawworm encounter. And, well, need I extol the virtues of Shrug It Off till the end of time? 'Tis good. Hopefully we can defeat this thing next turn. Guess I could theoretically draw 3 defends and 2 slime next turn. We didn't. Hooray. Okay, so we do get some of our health back, and we do get some much better offensive options. Uppercut, Pummel, and Whirlwind. Well, without knowing who we're going against, it'd be hard to choose here. We don't get to upgrade before we fight the Elite, which I think probably crosses Whirlwind off the list. Although it is a nice area damage card and does do big damage with the energy potion, it would still only be 25 if I spent 5 energy on it. That does not kill the sentries. That said, it would be very useful later against the slime boss. So I guess worth thinking about. With the energy potion, I most like this uppercut. 13 damage, 1 weak, 1 full. Uppercut's a great card to upgrade later, and one that retains quite a lot of usefulness. Oh, I like that idea, Merle. Double HP bosses. Man, 500 health Hexaghost would be genuinely scary. That's pretty cool. Going for any specific hairstyle this time? I'm not. I'm going to keep it trimmed pretty short. I was thinking about trimming it back this weekend, actually. Man, I'm really dismayed by the inability of us to upgrade this Whirlwind before it really gets useful, but I do like what it can do in the later fights, actually, and it is the first area damage card we're seeing here. Alright, I'll take the Whirlwinds. I'll take the Whirlwinds. Instant payoff. Wow, instant payoff. Holy moly. Although, Uppercut would have done decently well here. The Whirlwind does far better. Saving us 6 full health. We get another potion to work with. And a Flex or a Body Slam. My. Or no-nonsense Twin Strike, which might actually be our best choice. But man, Body Slam with an Energy Potion and a Dexterity Potion seems pretty spicy. I generally love Body Slam with Shrug It Off, and it's a great card to upgrade as it becomes 0 cost. This is exciting. But Flex makes Whirlwind real spicy-like, which I quite like as well. Getting bonus damage to essentially all other cards in your hand. Flex gets better the more cards you can get into your hand. Also, really begs for an upgrade. It goes from +2 to +4, essentially doubling the value of the card, which is huge. Huge indeed. If we can draw the Whirlwind and the Flex together, that'll also make for an excellent Energy Potion. I'm pretty happy with either of these, and there's honestly also the argument for Twin Strike, which is that it's just 10 targeted damage, no nonsense, and doesn't require that we draw it alongside other cards like the Body Slam and the Flex do, which makes it the most consistent choice for surviving that first fight, but given our raw health, I'm already feeling pretty okay. I'm going to grab this Flex, because I am personally a Flex lover. And we're going to lose some of that health that we've accumulated so far to a rather spicy draw here, I suppose. That's alright. I'm actually not upset to see the looter one bit here. In our 4th fight, he will strike at us for some damage, and if we fail to kill him, he'll run away with our money, but we're not going to fail to kill him. So we should be able to get both our health and our money back pretty easily here. Just draw 2 strikes, which we do. Alright. And we get offered a bludgeon. Fascinating. Hello and welcome, Holana. Glad you found your way here. Bludgeon? Yeah, Bludgeon Flex, the Wombo combo. Honestly, a Bludgeon and an Energy Potion almost assuredly gets us through that elite fight. We could even play the Bash and the Bludgeon together with Energy Potion, which is pretty spicy. Perfected Strike is basically a smaller, weaker Bludgeon. I think always take Bludgeon over Perfected Strike here. True Grit's rather nice to help thin the deck so that we can combo these two together, but that's kind of a mid to long-term thought, and not something that adding in an upgraded True Grit is practically going to do for a whole lot of purposes. Not bad in the Lagavulin fight, but I'd still rather have the Bludgeon. So that gives us kind of different flavors of offense. We're not going to be really using them together necessarily. But we can use whichever one's more appropriate to the situation. So, since I'm guaranteed going to go to a shop later this act, I think we now avoid this store. I feel comfortable about our prospect against the elite thanks to this powerful rare card and the 2 potions that we picked up. So let's choose to take an event room instead. This gives us the chance to gain some additional benefits from visiting this floor node, whatever the outcome might be. And lets us visit this later shop with more money so that we can perhaps purchase something more powerful. And we get offered 5 max health for visiting here. Definitely not going to take a curse prior to an elite fight. An easy donut for me. Do not consider those other options. Sleepy Egg. Prepare. To get bonked. Yes! They said it couldn't happen, but here it is. Flex and Bludgeon working together. People ask, is there any time when it is worth taking the curse? For the box, I say almost never. Because taking the max HP is almost always going to be the better choice. But it can be worth the curse, quote-unquote, if you have the Omamori Relic, which blocks the curse, and then you're just getting a free relic. Or if you have the Darkstone Periapt Relic already, then you can get 6 max HP and a relic, and that can be worth considering. However, because the box event is an Act 1 event, you're almost never going to have a curse interacting relic before you encounter this thing. Usually it's the first relic you're getting offered for the run. Yeah, it's a random relic, either common, uncommon, or rare. Wow, that's a lot of damage. So there's a lot of possibilities for what you can get. Considering using the energy potion to deal another 24 damage this turn. And yes, I agree. If you have HP to heal, it's better to take the current health than the max health there. Big agree. So generally speaking, the priority is heal, then max health, then curse, in terms of what's best. But if you're at almost full health as we were, then the max health is the better choice. So we can easily full block with Dex Potion here, and then just wait for Bludgeon to get drawn again. Bludgeon won't be a kill, but that's still true even if I use the Energy Potion. The Energy Potion could be much served better against Gremlin Ob. It could also be, you know, these potions could be used much, much later in other circumstances. I'll use the Dex Potion in this fight. I don't really care about getting my Strength sapped because it's not going to really make Bludgeon do any less damage, right? Seems inconsequential. This does 32, bringing it to 32. Next turn I block just fine. I need to bring it just below 30 so that when we redraw the Bludgeon, we can get the kill that way. Hopefully, yeah, okay, I was going to say if I draw the Bludgeon with the Shrug, that could be awkward. We might also get slapped for 20 next turn. What I should do is strike here so that the Bludgeon kills with 3 energy. Although Flex Bludgeon would be a perfect kill next turn, hilariously. I'm not going to trust that I draw them both together. Hopefully we just get the Bludgeon. We don't. Tragic. Which does mean we get slapped for 20, unfortunately. This would have been so clean otherwise. Dang. Energy Potion doesn't net me a kill here, does it? 18... Actually, it does, yes? Yes, it does. So Energy Potion for 20 health, that's a trade I'll make. Even with the Potion Belt, I'm more incentivized to hold on to potions, but I don't think I'm so incentivized that I'm going to trade 20 hit points for that Energy Potion. That's a lot of hit points. Although maybe going into the Burning Elite, I wanted to think about that a little harder. Love to see an Inflame here. Permanent strength gain. Very nice, although it doesn't benefit Bludgeon a whole lot. It does make Whirlwind slap pretty hard. With the Flex, Sword Boomerang also plays very nicely. And don't think we have enough vulnerable for Dropkick to pull its weight here. No promises one way or the other, Bargol. Today, this is going to be a short week of streams as a heads up. As I mentioned in the announcement on the Discord, although I know not everybody reads that, we will not be live on Friday or Saturday this week. I'm headed off to visit some family members this weekend. Really looking forward to that. Gonna be snow involved. Donis Incarnate, thank you so much for 34 months of support. It is Family Day. Well, there you go. I'll have to. I don't actually think it. that's really appropriate. Beautiful, beautiful. Sorry to hear that, 039. Wish you a speedy recovery. Paradox, did you hear about the Ironclad that had to visit the doctor? He's feeling a little inflamed. I don't think any of my family members have played Spire. I do remember getting my father to try it one time. He was able to reach the Guardian. I was happy with him for that. Good time. Backseed stat aggressively. Alright, let's get that Whirlwind upgraded. I think this is the most important upgrade at the moment to get the base damage of this card significantly upped. Although, actually, upgrading Bludgeon might be the better choice here. An upgraded Bludgeon just instantly bonks a Sentry. Although, we can do that here. Now, let's get the Whirlwind upgraded first. Then we upgrade Bludgeon, then we can start to upgrade our strength cards, like the Flex and the Inflame. Come on, Bludgeon. Yeah. Wonk. So, we've got an easy peasy kill here, but we also have this Happy Flower Relic, which says every 3 turns, gain 1 energy. And, with a little bit of patience here, we can make sure that we get some additional energy a little bit sooner in our next combat. Could even pay 1 health to make it turn 1. Which might be the Burning Elite fight. Do I want energy on turn 1 or turn 2? I think turn 2 is nice and broadly useful. Could be really good on turn 1. I think is more likely to be useful turn 2. Especially against Gremlin Knob. If we draw Bash on turn 1, lets us capitalize on the vulnerable from the Bash more effectively. Of course, it's going to depend on the draw, ultimately. Helps us maybe block against turn 2 sentries. I mean, ideally the answer is whenever we draw the Whirlwind or whenever we draw the Bludgeon, but we don't know when that's going to be. I'll set it for turn 2. Turn 2 is when the enemies start to do more stuff. And it saves me to 1 hit point here. We add a third type of strength gain to this deck. Spot Weakness is a skill. Requires the enemy to be attacking. We know this elite won't be the Lagavulin if we choose to face it. It'll be either the 3 sentries or the Gremlin Knob, since we faced the Lagavulin as our last elite. How much scaling is too much scaling? Let's see. We're fighting Slime Boss. I really don't like this card against Slime Boss very much. Do I take a second Shrug? That's a fun idea for Act 2. With a Fire Potion. I'm actually not that afraid of the Elite either. Kainort, thank you so much for 20 months. 20 moons of support. And more draw means this Flex is going to be way more useful overall. Although shrugging into the bludgeon is awkward until we get a little bit more energy. I think clothesline could be acceptable. I'll take the shrug. I'll take the shrug. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm very happy with an early Singing Bowl, allowing us to raise our max HP by 2. I'm of a very strong mind to go for the Burning Elite. Get this green key out of the way. Not getting the green key has been very punishing in Act 3 on some runs lately. So it's been a good reminder of why getting it out of the way early is a good idea. That said, heading a more combat-oriented, we get 2 events rather than 2 combats. Could mean less health with the Singing Bowl. We also could end up taking quite a bit of damage to this Elite. Rest before the Burning Elite, just in case. How about no? Yeah, we're going to upgrade our Bludgeon, is what we're going to do. Plus 10. A lot of damage. Are events a bad option in the second half of Act 1? I would say not at all. There's some pretty good events that you can only find in the second half of Act 1. Notably the Dead Adventurer and the Mushroom Gang. Actually, not necessarily the second half. Those start on floor 7, technically. So as soon as elites can appear, those events are added to the pool. And those are pretty rewarding. They're essentially combat rewards plus, so they're definitely better than a combat in terms of the rewards you gain. Speak of the devil, here it is. You enter a corridor full of hypnotizing colored mushrooms. Unfortunately, the Ironclad forgot to put skill points in mycology again, and so he's unable to identify these specimens. We want to escape, but we feel oddly compelled to eat a mushroom. Here, you're either able to take a heal, which comes with a curse. This can be nice if you are not going to win the fight. And this is a pretty scary fight unless you have Whirlwind Plus, in which case they'll all instantly die, probably. So we'll anger the mushrooms. If you're able to win this fight, you get rewarded as if it were a combat, but there's more money. And you get a relic that makes you take less damage when vulnerable. So, Happy Flower energy next turn. If we draw the Whirlwind, we'll be able to neatly kill them all. With 32 damage. We might shrug into Whirlwind, so I should reduce the health of the one that'll be attacking me below 24. And we'll do the same to, I guess, the one with the least health. Give myself the possibility to leave one alive on purpose so that we can reset our Happy Flower. Maybe. Let's see what we draw. I think this is a play line I'm going to take. And on this turn, get a Bludgeon, and not much else. Could defend 3 times, take a little bit of damage. Given that Whirlwind is almost guaranteed next turn, that's actually a reasonable choice. Although if I have to shrug into the Whirlwind, we'll be in Awkward Town. Interesting choice. The middle one won't attack me next turn, so the best outcome is I block 3 times this turn, we draw Whirlwind next turn, and everything's fine. But if Whirlwind is the bottom card, I'll have to use a potion or something. It's kind of awkward. The other line we can do is Bludgeon the one that's attacking for 11 and then defend for 5. When you kill one of these, you become vulnerable. So doing that causes us to take 4 damage instead of the 2 that we'll take from defending 3 times. And what does that mean for next turn? That means we're actually still in trouble if we bottom draw the Whirlwind, because we don't have a way to kill the front guy without using the Fire Potion. So we're but then only one of them will be attacking me. So I could just like shrug defend in that case. Mostly I think that tells me that I should just triple defend. We did not draw the whirlwinds. That's so funny. Of course we didn't. How intriguing. So, what's the line now? Is it Speed Potion, Shrug, Defend, Whirlwind for 1? That does 8 damage to all of them. It doesn't kill any of them, though. Or we can Shrug, Whirlwind for 2. Fascinating. Fascinating series of draws. We could also do something like Shrug, Defend, and Flame. But actually playing the Whirlwind seems imperative here. It's a nice speed potion in that it preserves all of our health this turn, but the next turn could definitely be up to the fates, you know? This one can't attack us next turn because it's already attacked. This one could be attacking, and this one will be attacking for 11. So we might, at worst, face 11-11 next turn. Okay, yeah. It's gonna do that. That's very reasonable. Good. Surely he won't be bottom drawed again. Smiley face. So, what do we do on this turn? Our worst draw next turn would be Defend, 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 and Flame Strike. The worst case scenario. Could kill one of them right now, but that makes me vulnerable, and then this is dealing 16. So I would take 8 if I go Flex Strike, Strike, and kill one. I don't think we should do that. We also have 4 energy next turn in our worst case scenario. I think what I should do is flex and strike this one. That way, drawing 3 strikes results in killing both the front one and the back one next turn. Question is, do I need to play another strike here, or can I defend for 3? I think I should probably just play the strike. In case of that one worse draw. Although the strike won't help me in the case of that draw. Right? Because we would just triple defend and then kill one of them. What are other draws that it might make a difference? If I draw 2 strikes next turn, makes a big deal. Or bash plus strike. It's also a very big deal that I played the strike this turn. Okay, I think that means I should play this. Just take the 3. And we do in fact see the whirlwinds. Good. Good, good. And what I'm going to do is defend whirlwinds. Keep you alive just for 1 turn. Put Happy Flower back on 1 here. Then end the fight. Get back some health. We get the Odd Mushroom, making us take less additional damage when vulnerable. That could save us a lot of health if this is Gremlin Knob, notably. And we're offered a Battle Trance, which is a card draw card, which is very important when you have a Whirlwind and a Flex in the deck. So I'm probably going to pick this Battle Trance. But I think it would also be maybe reasonable to take a 3rd Shrug. Shame I didn't take that Body Slam earlier. Okay, let's... I can't imagine a world where we take the Entrench here, but cool that it's offered. I'll take this Battle Trance. Battle Trance is easy peasy draw on a character who desperately needs it, and yes, it is in fact a Gremlin Knob, so we will get use out of the Odd Mushroom too, as he has max HP. Much as I'd like to put Inflame in play, I think we just have to do 44 damage. It's a lot of damage. We're also going to end up giving Nob a little bit of strength here with our skills. That just kind of has to be okay. Also going to play this Battle Trance. Good. So we go Bash plus Whirlwind, I think. And we might be able to kill next turn with Fire Potion. Let's do the math on that. So we do 8 plus 12 is 20 damage, bringing Nob to 45. Next turn we draw 27 damage, plus 20 is 47. So yes, we can just kill next turn, if I use this Fire Potion. Although it's not necessarily going to be that much damage to us. I may choose to keep it. 27 is the number. It's a pretty big number. But Slime Boss is also a pretty big number, and having the Fire Potion for that fight could be invaluable. I do feel a little weird having used my potion so aggressively in Act 1, but I do like the position we're in at the moment. Valuable means invaluable? What a country. I'll use it. Just get me out of here. Then Chaku is going to give us yet more energy. I'm really liking where this build is headed from here. And this is the first card reward that feels extremely skippable. Although Carnage is somewhat acceptable, it's weaker than Bludgeon, and weaker than Whirlwind for the most part. I'll skip, gain some max HP. Clash is, if you're playing on Ascension 9 or below, a Clash is really powerful. But I definitely don't recommend it in a deck with 2 Shrugs and a Battle Trance. It's gonna be a bad time. The Golden Idol. 8 max HP or 28 current health. In order to get the Golden Idol. Maybe I wanted to actually consider not taking this idol, given that it's right at the end of Act 1. And that we had a lot of max HP, so I would have to either lose a lot of my max health or take an awful lot of damage to get it. Am I willing to sacrifice my rest site? To get the Golden Idol? No. Too much HP for Slime anyway? I'm not sure that I would necessarily agree with that statement, given that we have no potions. Slime Boss could do a lot of damage to us with the wrong draw order. We could take the injury and immediately remove it, sacrificing one of our card removals for 8 max health in the long run. That's also an option, but not necessarily one I'd like to take. Consider that we can always simply remove a regular card at the shop instead. Or use our money perhaps to buy an uncommon relic like the Shuriken, if it's there. Could always gain that max HP back with the Singing Bowl. I think that's quite reasonable here. But the fact is that max HP is more valuable the more of it you can stack. That said, all things considered, I think our best way to win this fight is to get out of the... best way to win our act, excuse me, is to get out of the... Best way to win our run is to get out of the current act. There's what I'm trying to articulate. We must win Slime Boss before we can win anything else. And the best way to win the Slime Boss fight is to take the lose max HP option here. But this could have been a time to consider not taking the Golden Idol at all. That said, I usually think the idol pays off pretty well in the long run. Oh boy. The options here. That's an early Prismatic Shard. And actually a genuinely good deck for Prismatic Shard, too. Wow. Strength. Strength and card draw is what we have. That's a mighty good start. I really like Anchor a lot in Act 2. Doesn't help us at all with Slime Boss. Blind could be nice for 0-cost weaken. I think there's some very good potions, especially Duplication Potion to dupe Bludgeon. Can I afford Prismatic Shard Dupe Pot? I totally can. Prism for the content, Potion for the survival. I like it. I like it a lot. And I'm entirely happy to derail this run with the Prismatic Shard. Secret bonus here, by the way, Prismatic Shard plus Singing Bowl. If the Prismatic Shard offers us cards we absolutely can't take, and it often will, we get max health instead. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I, for one, am very excited to see where Prismatic Shard can take this run. Our simplest... So let me paint you a quick picture, chat. What if Blasphemy, and we can do 126 damage with Bludgeon, plus Flex. Anchor Fire Breathing Removal, that's a really nice line. That assures the survival through the Slime Boss fight. Pretty much guaranteed. Gets us the card remove, which counteracts the fact that we have Fire Breathing, and then gets us the Anchor for Act 2. Although I'd probably actually just prefer Anchor Dupe Pot over purchasing Fire Breathing and card removal. That's a card I don't want, plus removing a card kind of deal. I'm going to go the Shard Dupe Pot line. I like that a lot. A lot. And what are we upgrading here? Is it Flex, Battle Trance, or Bash? I think all are good options. Bash gives more vulnerable so that our Bludgeon has more time to be drawn to capitalize on it. Battle Trance gives us more card draw so that we don't need the extra turn of vulnerable from the Bash because we just get the cards one turn sooner. Or Flex lets us have a really, really spicy Whirlwind if we can get those in hand together. If I upgrade Flex, the next upgrade will be Battle Trance. If I upgrade Battle Trance, the next upgrade will be Flex. Guess in the Slime Boss fight, I probably want to upgrade Battle Trance for the additional card draw to get through this guy's stinky slimes that he adds. Just gonna go Bash, Strike, Strike. We're gonna not play Battle Trance. That way we are most likely to draw Bludgeon next turn. And if we don't draw Bludgeon, we have Flex Whirlwind. In either case, I could instantly win the fight with the Dupe Pot at that point, although I'll probably choose not to. Yeah, Bludgeon does 66 damage, so that would be an instant kill if I were to choose to employ it. I think I'll just deal the 66 damage. Since I have 70 health, we can slug it out against Slime Boss in the second phase just fine. The slime will be a bit of an issue. But that would let me keep this Duplication Potion for later. And what I really like Duplication Potion for is duplicating either Bludgeon against Book of Stabbing or duplicating Whirlwind against the 3 slavers later on. This deck take a Chemex? I would consider it. Let's weaken the one that's going to be attacking next turn. We do take some damage here, but that's what we choose to do. Big bonks have occurred. Let's just finish you. Although I could split this one with 6 health. This also prevents slimes from being added. Damage. Interesting. Bash Whirlwind is exactly the wrong amount of damage here. Does Prismatic Shard affect boss card rewards? Yes, yes, and you'll be offered rare cards from all characters and from the colorless card pool, which is rather interesting, I think. Can't even do Whirlwind and Bash, that's the sad thing. So this is Bash and Slimed, I think? I think so. Bash, Slimed, Whirlwind, get me to 9 on Nunchaku is the play here. And then I'm gonna go Shrug Battle Trance? No, yeah, Shrug Battle Trance. Okay. And I can do Strike plus Bash. Or I can Shrug Defend, take 3 here, have a lot of energy next turn. But I think we should just prevent his hits. Bring him to 20. And then with bonus energy, go bonk. Beautiful. And we get to keep this lovely potion until next act as well. Gorgeous. Pick up an elixir along the way, letting us exhaust stuff in hand, and holy moly, the choices. Wow. Wow. Never doubt the shard again. Holy moly. So, options that I love. Echo Form lets us dupe the first card we play each turn. Insane with Bludgeon, insane with Whirlwinds. Speed lets us get ridiculous max health scaling with a Singing Bowl, and lets us embrace Chonkitude. Or Seek lets us find anything from the draw pile and put it into our hands. Man, the options. Faily, thank you so much for that gifted sub. And Despus, thanks for 4 months. These are all incredible. I like the Echo Snecko sentiment. Echo Snecko would be very hype if that happened. Certainly we'd be much more disappointed with the other options. What if Pyramid? If Pyramid, I would have wanted to feed the most. I think that's still fine. If Energy Relic, we're on 4 energy. Echo Form's actually pretty good then, still. Although Seek might be better on 4 energy. Okay, let's take an Echo Form. Let's see what happens. We do not, in fact, see a Snecko Eye, but we do see energy. Lots and lots of energy. Velvet Choker limits us to 6 cards per turn. Not my favorite with Battle Trance. Definitely a little awkward with Echo Form. We got Shrugs as well. I'm going to go with no to the Choker. Ectoplasm prevents us from gaining gold. Given that I've just picked up the Golden Idol, that's a little discouraging. So it's probably then a Slaver's Collar. We get extra energy, but only during boss and elite fights, which means we're kind of on our own during the regular fights. That could make it a little challenging to take those combats, but I think might represent our best option here. Although for the moment, actually, the Velvet Choker is the best in terms of letting our current deck defeat Act 2. But there's so many ways that Prismatic Shard is going to potentially let us scale that the Velvet Choker would put a stop to. And I really don't like trying to think about how we make this into a deck if we can't accept cards per turn as a valid way to scale the deck. I don't think I'm allowed to take that. It might genuinely be the Ectoplasm. Should pain me to admit. I'm going to take the Slaver's Collar, but my hope is that we don't end up dead in early Act 2 or Act 3 because of it. We'll see. Does mean we probably want to take a few more kind of question mark event type rooms. Not a lot of incentive to go to a shop, so I think we'll be going over here to start. And we at least get a choice between Elite and Fire when appropriate. As long as we hold on to this Duplication Potion, I don't think an Elite will be that scary, truthfully. But it's not the Elites I'm actually that worried about. It's the regular fights, where we could stand to lose a lot of health if our draws don't align properly. I'll shrug here. So, let's assume we're drawing Bludgeon next turn. I also have Nunchaku available. Bash is worthless. So is it Whirlwind for 3 or Inflame Whirlwind? Flame is immediately 4 damage, and it's at least 4 next turn. So we Inflame Whirlwind. Skip the Bash. Take a little bit here. Problem is that Bludgeon plus Strike I don't think is a kill. Right, this is 44 plus 8. That's not going to do it. Heck. I am not willing to use the duplication potion for this purpose. But this is a really clear indicator of where being just 1 more energy would have made me able to kill this enemy before this turn arrived. I can't even play the card after the Bludgeon because of how I've set this up. So no, we cannot kill here. Means I think I shrug, strike, 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 deal 24? Might fail to kill next turn if I do that. Bludgeon is a lot better than 3 strikes, but I can't play the Bludgeon and the shrug. I think I just play the Bludgeon, take 22. Painful. Dodge and roll plus. I love this beam cell here, actually. 0 cost, vulnerable. Seems like an excellent compatriot to the Bludgeon and the Whirlwind, although it's pretty bad with the Echo form. Really lovely otherwise. Dodge and roll plus is also a pretty decent defense card, although I think with 2 shrugs, we don't necessarily have need for this as well. Take this beam cell. And I think I'll take an event based on how much of a battering we just got. I don't want to put myself into a hard pull fight. So, let's take 1 event. Heck yeah. Trade the Golden Idol for the Bloody Idol. Take that, 8 max health. This causes us to heal 5 whenever we gain gold. Meaning a total heal of 11 health per combat, which is actually, well, good enough incentive for me to take another combat, actually. And we don't have to sacrifice or desecrate, heck yeah. And our next event is, yeah, imagine having taken Ectoplasm there. That's why you don't take Ectoplasm when you get the Bloody Idol. Healing here feels really comfortable to me, as my top priority is being able to beat this elite successfully. If we read, we'll be offered 20 unupgraded Ironclad cards. The Prismatic Shard does not affect this event. Though that could be a good thing, if we're looking for a specific Ironclad card. Generally speaking, if you're looking for a common especially, but unupgraded, I don't think I am. Yes, Anna Zbana. Actually, I've got a clip for you based on that. What is it, Rich? Is that the one? Heck. Spire Bunny? No, that's not the right one, but that one is a good clip. Wait, what is the clip? Yeah, it's Greed. That's the one. Yes, exclamation point Greed. That is the one I'm trying to think of. They've actually since patched the interaction used to create that exact clip. It doesn't quite work that way anymore, but you can still get a lot of money from Knowing Skull if you have the Bloody Idol. I'm taking the heal here. I think we need it. And I think that lets me take another combat, which I'd strongly prefer to do. As another combat will be another card reward for more max health. It'll be more healing. It'll be more potion chances. Next up, the Double Thieves. And you know what? I'm just going to pay the health to put Echo Form in play. 10 health is a lot of health to pay. But trust me, doubling Whirlwind or Bludgeon is going to make my life a lot easier. Or Shrug. That's also an acceptable duplication. is enough. Oh well. Might not be able to kill this guy, depending on what I draw, actually. Oh no, we're good. I'm gonna double the beam cell so that I can increment our Nunchaku a little bit more before killing this man. Good. And bonus value, because we take our money back from the looter and get regular money from them. We get to heal twice here from the Bloody Idol. Flash of Steel. Heck yeah. What a beautiful addition to this deck. 0 cost, deal 3, draw a card. A little bit of anti-synergy with Battle Trance. Actually a little awkward with Echo Form too. But a 0 cost attack that scales with our strength and helps us get energy with the Nunchaku feels great. Great highlight of why we didn't take the Velvet Choker either. Thus, the only real option for our boss relic, I think. That gets us through without sacrificing some of the major bonuses we could have received. If only we had Ceramic Fish to get healed yet a 3rd time, my god. The power. 2 max health is actually somewhat a reasonable competition there too. As much as I don't like allowing Mystic to buff on turn 1. She might buff twice in a row, or she might attack me, but either way, with Echo Form in play, I can handle what she's gonna do. Easy. Beautiful. Get the Inflame down. It's time for you to suffer, sir. Turn. It's just 15, so we deal 15, full block. That way she'll be healing next turn, he'll be dying. In fact, they'll both be dying. Although I don't want them both to die, because Nunchaku on 1, Happy Flower on 0. We can do a little bit better than that going into our first elite fight. So 45. Okay, let's just double Flash of Steel you for the moment, sir. And then this does 12 by 4, which brings her to a sliver of life. Means she'll heal again on this turn. Don't necessarily want all of the energy on turn 1. There is such a thing as too much energy. Nah. Wait a minute, it's not gonna kill. Unless I... 12. That'll work. Okay, we'll get a lot of energy on turn 1, maybe too much energy. But can you have too much energy when you've got a Whirlwind in the deck? Beautiful, beautiful set of options here. Is it Recycle or Pommel Strike? That's my question. And as Buana says, when I take cards like Flash of Steel, do I consider Beat of Death or Time Eater? Yes. Time Eater is the big one to consider, so you really have to be able to make that card worth it or handle not playing that card in that specific situation. And in this deck, I'm already not that worried about Time Eater. We've got Echo Form Bludgeon, and that should perform pretty well. I think the Echo Form Shrugs will do pretty well in that fight also. And we have a lot of time to prepare for that fight as well. So I'm not too worried right now about Time Eater. Recycle. API. Oh, yeah, I know why. I have to fix the bot. We do after stream today. Yan, thank you so much for 13 months of support. And a oldie but a goodie, since I'm looking at a card that reminds me of this joke. What's the difference between a well-dressed man on a bicycle and a poorly dressed man on a unicycle? Attire. Marco asks, what happens when you recycle an X cost card? You gain energy equal to the value of X. X is whatever your energy is after you pay for recycle. So it essentially makes the recycle card function as a double energy card. You pay for recycle, and then you double your remaining energy by gaining energy equal to your current energy. That's pretty cool. I also like that this recycle makes it possible for us to get the Echo form in play a bit more easily, and it also allows us to slim the deck so that we can draw back to Bludgeon and Echo form again more reliably. I think it's beautiful. Let's take it. Alright, it is a Book of Stabbing. I was a bit worried it would be. I may choose to use our duplication potion on Bludgeon, depending on when we draw it. That's my intended use case for this potion at the moment. Who's our act boss, by the way? There's the Bludgeon collectors here. Yeah, so if I do pot the Bludgeon, we just instantly win this fight, whereas if I don't do pot the Bludgeon, not only do I take a bunch of damage this turn, but I think we take a ton of damage on all of the other turns also. Okay, I'm just going to use the duplication potion and win this fight. Although this is an incredibly good potion for later, I think that we're in real trouble if we don't. In fact, we actually don't quite kill, even if I do. So I'll block and kill next turn. Get a lot of that health back, thankfully. And a potion back. 3 different skills. Armaments can be okay in a deck that's drawing a lot of other cards. It's not even the world's worst cool-headed. But I think this is a pretty easy 2 max health for me. Just scale that up a little bit. Since we were able to win that fight in a way that A, got rid of the Book of Stabbing, and B, kept us at high health, I think we get to fight another elite now. Upgrade here, fight a second elite with the Slaver's Collar. Oh, the Sundial can let us go infinite. How interesting. So we really just want to keep the deck small then. Fascinating. Fascinating. Yeah, that's right. With the Sundial, we can use this Recycle to assemble an infinite combo, and we don't need to get fancy with that. We already have Shrug Flash of Steel, and that's all we'd ever need. With Flex, Inflame, and Vulnerable, that even beats Time Eater, I think. That's pretty cool. So, upgrades that are nice here. Recycle could be energy positive with an upgrade. I don't think it needs to be yet. Upgrading Inflame seems pretty alright. Upgrading Flex seems quite good too. Let's get that Flex upgrade. That's an important one. Double the strength of that card. Oh, I'm so excited for where this deck is headed. Oh, Echo form. I mean, you're not bad here necessarily, but this is definitely where we would have preferred to see Whirlwind, you know? So, what could a Power Potion do for me here? Not much. I could get a Feel No Pain, I could get a Metallicize, I could get Inflame, Demon Form, Evolve, Fire Breathing, Barricade. It's all going to be Ironclad powers. You can't get... the Prismatic Shard won't affect this Power Potion. And I don't think any of the Ironclad powers are going to change the outcome of this. So I'm just going to go Echo Form, strike this nerd a few times in the back here. The man who must be killed by the end of next turn. We'll take our 29 damage. It hurts, but it's not the worst thing we've ever faced. This is the worst thing we've ever faced. This draw. Hold on. Double Shrug? We're in trouble now, without seeing Bludgeon or Whirlwind here. There it is. Ooh, we're just shy. Heck. So I am becoming vulnerable then. Rude. So here's where Power Pot could now make a difference with an Inflame. But Inflame or Combust. Or we could simply bash Whirlwind, which won't kill this guy, but does give me one more energy to then play either Defend or Inflame. We're likely winning the fight pretty comfortably from here, even if we do become vulnerable, because I do have Echo Form in play still. Alright, I'm going to use this here. Alright, Combust. Good. Good, good, good. Thank you, Combust. I am drawing Bludgeon. Does 31 damage. Bonk. Wait, recycle first. Not that that actually does anything. Get ourselves a toxic egg. And an Apotheosis Plus if we want one. Or a Bloodletting Plus. But wow, Apotheosis Plus. This is one of the big reasons that I've been enjoying the Prismatic Shard, is because you're offered colorless cards. You can get some pretty hype rewards from those. I'll take it. That Bloodletting is also pretty spicy. But I'll take an Apotheosis Plus. That sounds grand. Can I waddle into another elite fight, or do I need to opt out now that I'm out of useful potions? Either Book of Stabbing or Gremlin Leader. Our third elite. I think Book of Stabbing could be trouble. Less likely to be so with Apotheosis, though, quite frankly. And I'm happy to use the Elixir in that fight, too. Gremlin Leader doesn't seem that scary either. Okay. You can't make that up. You just can't. Amazing. Bottled Apotheosis just suddenly. Just randomly out of the blue. Like it's no big deal. Like it just happens all the time. Ridiculous. Alright, I can recycle this Bash because I have Vivacell in my hands. Shame that I can't draw any more cards, but that's okay. Please just get me out of this fight. Thanks. Get a Vajra, giving us 1 strength at all times. Could make a Dagger Spray a decent area damage option, but I'm much more inclined to take a Headbutt here, letting us put a card back on top of the deck. That can be exceedingly good with Recycle, but also amazing with the Bludgeon, the Beam Cell, the Flash of Steel, anything. If only we'd taken that Cool-Headed. If only. Not bad max HP either. Knowing that we have a Bottled Apotheosis, we can treat every single card we see as being upgraded. And that also means we no longer care about upgrade density at all, which is sweet. Koosh, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Welcome to the Cozy Sub Club. Recycle... No, I can keep the Bludgeon. Recycle the Shrug. Play Echo Form. Yeah. Okay, we have a spare Shrug. It's fine. It's not fine. I lied. It is not fine. Oh, in the discard pile, we've got Recycle, Bludgeon, Flash of Steel. Battle Trance is expensive, but draws 4. Which could be vital. And the first card we play is getting played 2 times. I like putting Bludgeon and Recycle on top and then trying to draw them. We'll only have 1 energy, which means we probably can't play Recycle and probably can't play Bludgeon, but we might be able to play one of them. Technically, we'd want to Bash first, but since our cards are random costs, not the cost as shown, we don't know what they're going to cost when I draw them. Otherwise, I would just double Bash. Oh no, I would double Headbutt, put these both back on top, then Bash, then Battle Trance, but not how it's going to work, unfortunately. Let's see what they cost. 3 and 3, which unfortunately means we play neither of them. That is tough cookies. Do I play my Bash? No, I'm just going to defend for 8 health. And we're going to hope that the next draw is more merciful. We have Echo Form in play. We should be okay here. For example, this would almost be a kill, actually. We had just a little more energy. Beautiful. I want to kill this turn, but with as many attacks as possible. Beautiful. And thanks to that double healing, we're able to sustain ourselves reasonably. Wow. True Grit plus Reflex plus. I'm very happy with a True Grit plus to help further thin this deck and be a decent block card alongside. Don't have any way to discard stuff for the Reflex. Yet. Birdmen. Be gone, Birdmen. Thanks for the help, though. Another chance at bloodletting. Interesting. How many energy generators does one deck need? That is my question. Rickett80, thank you so much for 40 months! That's a heck of a lot of months. Setup infinite. With an unceasing top, you could do fun things with it, I guess. So it's either bloodletting or max HP here. I think I'll take max HP with the Recycle. And the Sundial? I don't... yeah. We should aim to keep this deck relatively small where we can. Don't think a Perseverance is worth it. And I'm going to opt into this rest site. And what are we going to do? Rest here? There's no point in upgrading now. There's maybe an argument to have gone this way. I felt compelled to visit an additional rest site, top up my health. Suppose I shall. I think there's a very valid argument to go this way, too. Get walloped a little bit by these two. Luckily not. Burp. So 2 strikes does it, and then I can still put Echo Form in play. Good. Oh, I can even inflame strike, strike, recycle, echo form. Beautiful. Pressure points. The run has begun. Now I'll be taking a fat stack of nothing, please. Thank you. I suppose taking Pummel Strike is also very reasonable, in that it's a card draw card, which gets us closer to our ultimate goal. Okay, actually, yes, I do like that Pummel Strike a lot. And we should be able to show off what the deck can do in this fight, I believe. Let's see. Might require the potion. Thankfully, the Echo Form is upgraded by Apotheosis, so I don't lose it by playing the Whirlwind here. Whirlwind does 5 times 9 equals 45 damage, exactly enough to kill both minions, as well as hitting Collector pretty hard. I think that's worth considering doing. Yeah. Just cleanly wipe out those minions. Collector opts to resummon instead of buffing or attacking again. That's nice. Getting rid of defense cards, alright. Collector will debuff us on this turn. We're also about to get a ton of energy here. Oh my. So either I can fairly effortlessly kill both torch heads here again, or I can put all of the damage onto the Collector herself here. Go Beam Cell, Bludgeon, Headbutt, Strike, block a little bit. How much damage is that anyway? Let's do some quick maths here. 8 plus 24 from the Headbutt. This is going to go to 69 damage. Nice. And this will contribute 19? 15 goes to 19? So we do 120, leaving Collector on 67 health. How much does Bludgeon do next turn? I have 5 energy to spend next turn. Bludgeon's going to be 69 times 0.75. Plus 120. 171. So I need what? 2 more attack cards? 2 more attack cards. That's not unreasonable. And I have a Gambler's Brew? Okay, we're going in. Bonk. I could even, like, all in with the bash. Bash actually guarantees that we kill if I just go Bash Strike. And I just take 14 and win the fight. I'm going to do that. More probably, I was allowed to play 1 Defend Plus there. Yeah, definitely. Get her. Bonk. Well, we certainly brought the hammer down. I love our options here. So, it's a question of Core Surge or All for One. Amazing. And it's probably going to be All for One for me. All for One returns Beam Cell, Battle Trance, Flash of Steel, and Recycle, and Flex to our hand, allowing me to draw a bunch of cards, gain a bunch of energy, deal a bunch of damage after playing the All for One. Core Surge is also quite nice. An artifact can block the Strength Down effect of Flex or the Stop Drawing effect of Battle Trance. which is rather inconvenient as well. But I really like this all for one, bringing back the various zero-cost cards this deck has. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Should also, because it brings back Recycle, this is also a card that should allow us to recycle cards faster, theoretically bringing us closer to a mid-combat infinite of any kind. Now we get offered the Snecko Eye. Hold on a minute. Taking the Snecko Eye would be saying no to any kind of assembled infinite and saying yes, exclamation point, to Echo Form Bludgeon all day, every day, forever. I think Coffee Dripper is a very reasonable energy choice, though, just bringing us quite simply to a greater energy place. Yeah, the all-for-one works fantastically with Snecko Eye. Our main concern would be that we're 3 base energy Snecko during non-elite fights, but I don't think that'll be hugely problematic. Macarini, thank you so much for that Prime sub. Welcome to the Cozy Sub Club. Heck, let's take a snack. Hey everyone. Did you know that you can now support me directly on YouTube by getting a channel membership? For as low as $5 a month, you'll get access to perks like custom badges and emojis to use in comments and discounts on the merch store, all while helping support me and this channel to do what I love every day. Just click the join button below to get started. Now back to the video. Now, Apotheosis will be randomly costed. It's true, it's true. Well, look at that 4 elite path. I'm in. And randomly costed cards could be bad. But I think we'll find that, on average, it'll be okay. And the fact that we're drawing 2 additional cards each turn is where we really start to come out ahead. It's the card draw that's the real secret. We've also got amassed potions, finally, thanks to that early potion bell. Excuse you all. Gotta kill that exploder first as they blow up on turn 3, which is problematic, to say the least. Hello. Let's get rid of this for now. We just want to draw more block cards. Finally got our Echo down. We'll be okay here. Just echoing our block cards is usually enough. Whittle it down. Though 19 is an awful lot of thorns, sir. Flame Barrier Plus, an amazing Snecko card. 16 block and 6 damage back. Really good way to help ourselves against later fights. Really good with Echo Form, too. Claw is here. Could have taken it with that all-for-one if we hadn't gone Snecko. Double Orb Walkers. These are a very challenging fight. Crucially, these do not count as an elite combat, which means we will not gain 1 additional energy each turn. They're also a very aggressive, very dangerous combat. However, we have 4 potions, and I'm willing to use them. These potions can really help us by exhausting status cards, by redrawing an entire hand, or by getting my bludgeon back for free. They'll give us a ton of money to use in this store, they'll give me a rare relic, and will heal for quite a bit of money as well, so I'll fight them. That said, this is one of the most dangerous fights in the entire game, I tend to think. So if you are not immediately prepared for this, then stay the heck away. This is not a particularly good turn 1. Considering using the Gambler's Brew, but we have a decent enough turn, I suppose. Apotheosis, causes Recycle to become free. I can recycle the Flash of Steel. We play then Inflame, upgraded Defend, and the Strike. Maybe I'll Weak Potion this one. We would take relatively little damage. And that way the Apotheosis gets played. I'm gonna do that. So notably, since Recycle is a card that upgrades to cost 0, when I play Apotheosis, this 3-cost Recycle becomes 0 cost. That's what enables this hand to work. I think I will use this here. Since we weaken this one, we'll hit this one. Okay, so All for One is better than just playing the Bludgeon, because All for One gets me Recycle and Strike. The Recycle can get 3 energy back. So how much damage is that? We do 18 plus 46 plus 13. It's unfortunately only 77. So I'll probably employ the Liquid Memories to secure the kill here then. And I'm okay with that. Okay, so that starts with All for One. I'm going to kill this one, prevent the burns from being added, take 15. That's the plan. 46 times 2 is a neat kill here, so let's do the All for One. And the Strike on this one, then go Bludgeon, Liquid Memories, the Bludgeon. And that should be all the resource that I need to expend in this fight here, especially since we also get Echo Form, thanks to Nunchaku. Easy. And I would say that that price was well worth it for whatever we're about to receive. Okay. All of our relics are going to reset next turn. I guess that's fine. I don't really care. So we get the old coin, which notably heals us for 5 more health, and gives us $300 more, as well as an Entropic Brew, which more than replenishes the potions we just spent. Entropic Brew will fill our potion slots with random potions. Cool. The bonus idol value. 59 health from the idol, 124 from the burning blood. It's all adding up. I think I'll take max health here. Don't think I want any of those cards too much. Excellent turn 1. So we get back Recycle, Flash of Steel, and Defend. Wait a minute. All for One? Headbutt the All for One. Flash of Steel. Oh, All for One's 2 oh, right, it's random cost each time. That's right. Never mind. I thought I was going to do something funny. No! Very well. Also did not set their health up successfully so that I could kill with Whirlwind here. Whirlwind doubled is only 6 times 9, which doesn't even kill either of these two. The tragedy. This way. Let's kill, right? No, it won't. Heck. Urgh. Fine. should take a little bit. Nothing we can't recover from, but a little annoying. So it's double defend. Yeah, double defend. Kill this one. Get them all to die at the same turn. Easier said than done, unfortunately. And again, we kind of expect to be struggling in these fights because we have a Slaver's Collar. We'll have the additional energy in boss and elite fights that is going to make the deck a bit more consistent. And a bit less feeling like it's screwed by Snecko sometimes. Another Shrug Plus feels great to me. There's absolutely no harm in having excellent blocked cards in large quantity, I don't think. Oh dear. Bludgeon, boy, am I glad to see you. Letting me donk a Jawworm on turn 1 just makes this a lot easier overall. Might use the block potion here. I think that's a pretty comfortable choice. That way it's a perfect 12 block, too. Beautiful. Just one more floor and we can spend this ludicrous pile of cash. If only our turn were any good. That might have to be a gambler's brew. That is definitely in the realm of unacceptable. Unacceptable indeed. Could only play what? Well, I could play Shrug and a Strike. But I can't play more than really one of these cards. Can't kill either worm, can only block for 8s. I'm out of here. Try again, please. Please, try again. Okay, better. All for 1 at 2 cost gets back this strike. That's actually it, unfortunately, because none of the cards have rolled 0 cost. I am unable to further recuperate cards, yet it shall be enough. I suppose. It has to be. Can I kill the front one? Yes, it even has less health. Easy. Did I maybe want to inflame before I did that? Maybe. Can't play this defend afterwards, no matter what, right? Correct. Sweet. Hey there, Nate and Cell. Life is good. Whew, we wormed our way out of that one, wouldn't you say? Piercing Whale is another good defensive option. Aggregate can actually be shockingly good with a Snecko Eye. Might even be our best choice here. As once there are enough cards overall in the deck, Aggregate becomes energy positive, almost no matter what it costs. Can't say that for other energy generating cards usually, but because Aggregate is capable of generating so much raw energy gain, it's pretty powerful. Krakissimo says that counts, it counts. I'll take it. Thankfully, I was able to come up with an aggregate joke off the top of my head. Ha! Alright, we finally made it to the store, and boy do I love what's here. Reaper, a way to regain health. Had we picked up the feed early Act 1, this would be extra incredible, but it's still very good. Bag of Preparation lets us draw more cards on turn 1. Shrug It Off number 4 is here. Sling of Courage is more strength in elite fights. And card removal. And guess what? I can afford all of it with this much cash. So let's do it. Reaper, yes. Bag of Prep, yes. Sling of Courage, yes. Card removal, you betcha. Yes. Shrug It Off, sure. What's left? Metamorphosis and Jack of all trades. Metamorphosis could have been really cool with All for One, but it doesn't work with Snecko Eye. So we shan't be taking it. We shan't. Do I take a potion? Not these potions. I would take a Swift Potion or a Gambler's Brew or a Duplication Potion. But I don't think any of these potions have a whole lot of good use. Berserk not that bad with the reduced downside from the odd mushroom, although the fact that it's random cost is a little bit more upsetting to me. But yeah, 1 energy per turn is good. It's only 1 turn of vulnerable too, thanks to the Apotheosis. Don't forget, this is an upgraded Berserk. The best relic that I would want to see at this point, I think I would much prefer the Gambling Chip, letting me discard any of my 9 opening cards to draw new ones, helping us find Echo Form turn 1. That or Bottled Tornado, just for the Echo Form, to guarantee that I get it on turn 1. Either of those would be great. Not taking that Berserk. We have more energy per turn, courtesy of the Slaver's Scholar. Do I get rid of the True Grit? I think so. Flexed also. 28 damage or gain 1 energy next turn. I'll gain the energy next turn. And I'm vaguely glad that I did. All for One returns all of my 0-cost cards, which is quite a few, apparently. And we're going to go ahead and headbutt All for One. Which is just going to result in some absolute silly nonsense. I assure you. Flex again. Flash of Steel again. So our turn hasn't ended yet, shockingly. Still going, actually. By the way, this Reaper deals 50 damage. Don't mind if I do. Slowly assemble your own demon form. Oh man, dual wield plus lets us make copies of any attack or power card in my hand. Can you imagine, chat? Dual wielding a 0-cost Echo form or dual wielding a 0-cost All for One. Just think about that for a second. The power. Dual wielding a 0-cost bash. I don't want you to make me vulnerable, but I also don't want you to do that. Alright, fine. You can make me vulnerable. So be it. Look at that Flash of Steel. So I cannot Echo Form Flame Barrier, but I can Flame Barrier defend. Fine by me. This enemy is capable of giving us a curse. Whether they're going to actually do so or not is a little bit random. And I'm okay taking this amount of damage. This will heal for about that much. Kind of had to play the bludgeon. This is the attack intent that gives a curse. So, oof. Ooh. Oh no. Not with this hand. Yikes. If I play the All for One, the Writhing Mass will change their intent to something that does damage. Could be a lot of damage. Could be up to 38 damage that I will have to then take to my face. I suppose I have a Regal Pillow in that case. The curse is worse. Could also always use the Entropic Brew, I suppose. 27, I'll just eat it to the face. We've got healing. Oh no, not again. You put me in the same dilemma? How dare you? The value. Oh, whoops. Oh. Nope. Yep. That was foolish. Thought I had 0 energy. I just wanted to increment my nunchaku. Dang it. Curses! What do I get for playing too fast? Alright, well, what's the play here? So yeah, now I've managed to have the worst of both worlds, where I've taken a bunch of damage and gotten the curse. Quintessentially Writhing Mass. Reaper's also the bottom card. So I have to deal with this turn now. So I want to be able to apply strength or vuln with that. Actually, no, I want to be able to headbutt the dual wield. Of course. But the attack I want? Kind of. Kind of. The block is annoying. Anything more is problematic, though. Okay, we'll stop there. The good news is that Reaper costs 0 this turn. So we may have a bit of a solution. We also have Flex Plus. Seems great. If I Pummel Strike, I can't do that. Kind of have to Pummel Strike, don't I? I'd say so. So what is this then? Headbutt, recycle? Yeah, might be able to play everything that way. No. Okay, so I won't get a whole lot of health from Reaper. Better than nothing though, yeah? That. Not enough health for me to do shenanigans like headbutt the dual wield and all for one the Reaper back. Technically better to headbutt it. Oh no, but it won't be 0 cost if I don't all for one. So it's got to be all for one the Reaper. If I headbutt the Reaper, I may not be able to play it. Although with aggregate, no, never mind. We can't headbutt it. Doesn't matter what it costs. Get a little bit back. Okay, that was vaguely acceptable. I think Calculated Gamble's quite nice, letting us discard any number of cards. Well, letting us discard our hand to redraw a new hand. And I think with these potions, we can take an elite. If only we'd bought the boot, this tragedy might not have occurred. If only. Okay, Reaper doesn't come back, but we do heal for 33 off of this Reaper. At a minimum, actually. I can do better than that, too. I think I may also elect to Battle Trance rather than playing Apotheosis for 3 here. To try to get a better turn 1. So yeah, we would flex, then Reaper. All for 1 would then finish one of the daggers. It's not the worst turn in the world. Leaves me with Nunchaku on 9, too. But Battle Trance could get me all sorts of things, including if we get dual wield, we instantly win the fight, for example. So that's pretty tempting. Most cards possible. Okay, we got Echo Form. That's pretty good. Echo Form in play, I feel quite capable here. Oh, right. Well, never mind. I guess I'm not drawing cards after all. Beautiful. Alright, if I hit but all for 1, it won't be 0 cost again. That's okay, because the Recycle will be, the True Grit will be, and the Pummel Strike will be. But let's try again with Apotheosis then, too. Double Headbutt. Headbutt Apotheosis first, and then all for 1. So all for 1 becomes the top card of the deck. Draw it. Hype. Still 0 cost. Very exciting. Let us... So I'm going to draw Pummel Strike, which is going to get me Apotheosis. Good. Don't really want to lose Shrug necessarily. Just leave those as they are. Alright. And what a turn it is. Aggregate is +2 energy this turn. Is there any way that I can KO the Reptomancer directly? Our most damaging turn would be double Bludgeon, then Aggregate, Beam Cell, Whirlwind? Or is it double Aggregate, then Beam Cell, Bludgeon, Whirlwind? Double Aggregate brings us to 9. So I would deal 7 plus 67. Plus... I would have 6 energy for the Whirlwind, so 16 times 6. 170. That is a kill, actually. So I'm just going to do that. Get a Blood Vial, healing us a little bit more. And... the promised card, Blasphemy Plus. Retain, enter Divinity, die next turn. Entering Divinity makes us do triple damage for 1 turn. And then we die. But not if the enemy die first. Oof. Wish I could take that pair, but Sapphire Key is great. And we begin to fall, losing Battle Trance plus Echo Form or All for One? Rude. I guess we don't like the Battle Trance plus as much as we used to. Not losing Echo Form, I'm not losing this All for One. So, it's gotta be Battle Trance. Can you Orange Pellets the die next turn effective Blasphemy? No. No, you cannot. It is not technically a debuff for legal reasons. So you are not allowed to do that. I have to choose between my children. I choose Echo Form. Who's always the best child? Could use Essence of Steel. We got healing coming up. We're fine. Fine. Probably. They wanted that on top. Well, next turn promises to be spicy regardless. Wait a minute. You're telling me that I'm allowed to do the following. Echo Form, dual wield on this strike, making many strike. Every strike, really. Then I play all of these zero-cost strikes. Then I play all for one. And most of them come back along with the zero-cost dual wield. That's good stuff. Infinite striking. Actually don't need all of the health, so I'll dual wield the bash now, as it does more damage. Good stuff. Hey, that's a good way to get more energy. Fusion Plus. It's like a Berserk, but better. But also worse, because I draw it again, but better, because it's not a power. Doesn't make me vulnerable. Cut Through Fate is a nice way to get more scry and card draw. I think taking max health is actually maybe our best option here. +2 plasma. The fact that it's random cost is pretty bad, though. I'm not sure that I actually want it. No. No. Let's skip. I have nothing to upgrade. Echo Form for safety reasons. I guess that's for if I skip Apotheosis turn 1, because if I draw Apotheosis and Echo Form turn 1, I'm going to just play the Echo Form. So yeah, in the situations where I don't play Apotheosis on turn 1, what card matters most? Echo Form could help. I'd also be sold on an upgrade for Inflame or Shrug It Off. I guess I'll do the Echo Form. It's actually the only card that would be bad to upgrade is the Recycle, because in the event where we draw Recycle on turn 1, that then forbids us from resetting the cost of the Recycle. Dang, I was hoping for a better event than that. That's okay. That's okay. We'll fight our last elite, the Reptomancer. Good highlight of what a don't play Apotheosis turn might look like, but I think I will play Apotheosis. And True Grit a strike here. And I will simply take some damage. Shame they have 21 health, otherwise I'd kill one with a fire potion right now. Hello and welcome to Kentiachi. Thank you so much for those 200 bits of support. Glad you found your way here, and I hope you have a grand time. Zero cost, all for one. Sure is something. Unfortunately, it doesn't return anything other than the bash and the strike at the moment. But maybe if I play Pommel Strike, that'll change. First bash is going to go on Rupto. Yeah, I want to find that dual wield, right? think I play that next, the Pummel Strike to draw 2. Zero cost aggregate? Oh my goodness. +4 energy twice. That's exciting news. Well, heck. I guess I'll just see what the top card is here then as well. Zero cost Inflame. Good news continues. Okay. Just to verify, we get back 1, 2, 3 cards. Just 3. Nothing special. Legend's got to go on the Repto herself. For surezies, I could pick off these enemies, or I could draw more cards at this point. With Calc Gamble. That seems pretty tempting. Let's go defend Gamble. Get the Whirlwind. Is Blasphemy Whirlwind just a kill? Yes, because of Recycle for 3. So, Blasphemy gives us 3 energy, makes us do triple damage for the rest of the turn. That would make Whirlwind 42 damage 8 times 1.5. That's more than lethal. That's super duper lethal. Good. Back to full health. Get a second win plus. Or pressure points plus. Second win plus exhausts non-attack cards in hand like my Parasite or like stinky status cards. Turns them into real block. I'd love to see it. And we get to upgrade 2 random attacks, notably Reaper, not that it matters, because of Bottled Apotheosis. Upgrade this. Alright, the first boss is the Awakened one. Don't care about 3-cost Apotheosis, because look how much energy Aggregate generates. 11. 11 is a big number. Could even headbutt it to do it again if I really, really wanted to. Probably going to be using Second Wind to get rid of this Inflame here, as I have no need for Strength against the Awakened one. It'll make the Awakened one do extra damage to us. So I'm just going to Second Wind, and I think headbutt the Aggregate. Get rid of all these cards. Yes, even you defend. More energy. 3, huh? Okay. Incoming damage is 34. I can block for 35. So we're good in that front. I can also just bonk this guy, but what I'm going to do is bonk the healthier one here. Let the Flame Barrier lower their health further. This turn we get multi-attacked. I am going to play Echo Form, even though it makes the Awakened one angrier at me. And I'm going to play All for One, as it gets me back 0-cost Shrug, 0-cost Second Wind, 0-cost Pummel Strike. And that should help me a lot with blocking on this turn. Does make the Awakened one rather spicy-like. And that's okay. Could play the Whirlwind, gain an Nunchaku thingy, doesn't matter though. Because I can't spend the energy meaningfully. Don't mind if I do make some more bludgeons. A lot more bludgeons. Bonk. Double defend? There's a lot of options here. Aggregate is +4? 3 minus 2? Yeah, +4 brings us to 8. 11. 11 times 27 is not quite a KO, but it's very close. $297. I would be 3 damage short if I also use the fire potion. Let's not be barely short of a kill. That sounds horrible, actually. No thank you. Am I second winding a lot of cards here? I guess I might be. Including you, Blasphemy. You heard me. Off one gets back a lot of things, actually. Like, a lot of things. No bludgeons, but maybe we can change that. Wait, no, I can't really. Shrug first, which doesn't work. Unless I bash. Exhaust bash. And I can shrug first. Oh well. Oh, we got there! Yes! Get him. The bunketing was real after all. Kerblam. Alright, Time Eater will probably meet the same fate, tragically. Apotheosis has been 3 cost every time, because it hates me. And that's okay too. I'm not gonna play this flex, not even recycle anything here. Just keep our cards played low for the moment. That's a free bludgeon. You heard it here first. That there bludgeon was free. I'm not going to play any further cards. I don't want to draw into my Echo form. Let's just take 16. Draw 10 cards this turn with the power of Centennial Puzzle. There's our Echo form. And some of our better block options, too. Is there any way that I can play 6 cards this turn so that I have a fresh slate next turn? Echo form, aggregate, defend. Echo form, aggregate, defend. True Grit, and I have 2 energy left. Bash. Whirlwind. Yes, I can. Thanks to being able to play Whirlwind for 0, and the fact that Aggregate is net 0. So I can uselessly play the Aggregate here in order to gain +1 card played, which is kind of useful here. So let's do that. Bash Whirlwinds. Alright, and I have... Wait a minute. This is lethal? No, because I don't actually get back the bludgeon. Right, I had to play Blasphemy first? Understood. I am okay with that not happening, actually. actually. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Shuffle the deck now. Ah. Wait, no, it is actually still lethal again now. I believe. Nice. So we do nice times 9. That's 69 times 9. 621. Good stuff. GG, Mr. Time Eater. Kabonkers. The ultimate bludgeon. Two thump, two thump, two thump. A deep pulsing dread can be felt throughout the room. Is this the sound that the Ironclad makes every time he hits something? Yes. Yes, it is. 2255. The room shakes with every slam. The divine bonk. Passed down from our ancestors. The rebludgification. I'm going to just rest to full health here. There's no reason to upgrade, really. Get those extra hit points. Medical kit. That's pretty cool. Shuriken could give us plus strength for playing Bludgeon 3 times. I think the Heart of Iron is a really good potion for the Heart fight, giving us 6 block per turn. Power Potion could be okay, too. I definitely like those potions over Fire Potion Essence of Steel, for sure. Oh yeah, this Toy Ornithopter can heal me a ton, too. Lots of healing out of that thing. 5 health per potion. Well, we've got essentially 8 potions, right? Because we Elixir, Essence of Steel, Fire Potion, and then we get 4 new potions. Almost enough for Medkit, Potion, and card remove, but not quite. How about Toy Ornithopter, Heart of Iron, Power Potion? I like that quite a bit. It'd be nice to lose a card here or there, but we have ways to get rid of unwanted stuff, like the Second Win and the Recycle and the True Grit. And we have a lot of card draws, so card density is not the most important thing. Just longevity is. We also got Elixir here to let me get rid of a lot of unwanted cards. 210. Oh yeah, I've got plenty of money. Burning Pact also pretty decent along that line. We could go Burning Pact, Heart of Iron. Just keep the Essence of Steel instead of the Power Potion. But no, I'm going to go double potion upgrade here. I think it's going to be pretty sweet. Heck, we could even take Sever Soul to help with statuses. That's not a terrible addition. Kind of awkward with Blasphemy, though. Let's take none of the above. Alright, what do you got for me, Snecko Eye? 3-cost Apotheosis. Gee, couldn't have guessed. Couldn't have guessed. Oh well. If only there was some other way that I could absolutely destroy everybody on turn 1 here. Oh, man. Get absolutely obliterated. There was a couple other ways to do that. We could have all for one the aggregate back to make it even more energy, if we really wanted to. Fun choice. Draw 4, discard 1, or just draw 4. Don't discard 1. Yeah, casual 445. And again, that wasn't even the most we could have done. That's pretty crazy. I think I want the Skim, because I'm going to be destroying unwanted cards with Elixir in this fight. Give me the draw 4. There's going to be nothing to discard. And we Power Potion first, but I can Apotheosis if I want to. Upgrade whatever this is. It does waste the heal, but that's okay. Get an upgraded Demon Form. I like it. Lots of strength for this fight. Good. Really good. I don't want to draw off the puzzle yet, so I'm not going to play both strikes, just one. Stop our turn here. Now we want to lose some health before we start drinking the other potions, which we're going to do voluntarily to Beat of Death right now. To gamble this hand. Let's get rid of the one card I don't want to see again. That's Parasite more than anything else. Now we can Heart of Iron. Probably. Yeah. Probably. Beautiful. I'm allowed to dual wield the Echo Form. That's very tempting. I might want to see what's inside the Entropic Brew to maybe enable that even better somehow, like an energy potion. Although I'm losing a lot of health, so drinking these all next turn would be very nice. You know? Making copies of this. I think I'm going to wait on the potions, though. Actually, wait, not all of the potions. Some of the potions. Is the elixir next turn, or do I get rid of some of these stinky attacks and this defends? Use the elixir now, too. Get rid of this, this. For good deletions. Okay, this is a good time for a weak potion, actually. It means the weak for the first attack of next cycle, too. As well as saving me a lot of health for right now. Skill potion, fire potion, speed potion. Might as well use the fire potion now. Also, these two can wait for later. So I got a full block out of the second wind. All for one gets nothing. I think it's just going to be second wind, whirlwind here. Alright, it gets doubled. That's fine. We're gaining a ton of strongitude. Bonk that heart real good. Second Echo Form gets in play. Good. So now our first 2 cards each turn are getting duplicated. Gamble this too. Now our first 3 cards each turn are getting duplicated. The ultimate in strengthening. Let's go. I guess I'll delete this strike. Skim twice? No, I'll Reaper twice. Then what am I dual wielding? Ah, alright, skim twice then. Now energy. Some more of those for later. Always surviving this hit, thankfully. All for One now returns, unfortunately, nothing. Not get any zero-cost cards other than this Strike and Defend. I guess I'll duplicate Shrug here. Not a great turn overall. But I get 2 more dupes. 1 more dupe, rather. Double Bludgeon. Just do the damage. Can always heal it back, after all. Defend back, might as well. I want double flame barrier next turn? No, we should just go for the kill. Double bash, double headbutt again. Should be an easy kill with the demon form. GG. Mr. Hard. GG. Hey there, if you enjoyed that video, watch this one next. And before you go, join us on Twitch and watch live. I'm there 5 days a week playing Slay the Spire, answering questions, and chilling with the community. Click the link in the description to follow right now. Ta-ta for now.